Hey, everybody, it's CJ Graham. That's right, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Part 6. And you're listening to Breaking the Fourth Wall.
We'll get to that
They're
later.
doughy.
Colin's doughy
They're
balls.
doughy.
All right. Well, hey, welcome. Let's see your balls, Colin.
Right here. Nice and doughy.
Nice.
Covered in glaze.
Well, hey, welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly Show. We are Stolle-less for a little while, so it's just going to be we're just going to go through. First of all, we have Colin here with us. Colin sucking on his glazed balls. What's happening?
Oh, donut holes, man. I love them. I've got the munchies. I'm chowing down some donut holes and slugging down some coffee. It's great. Great Sunday.
That's a perfect Sunday dinner right there. And we've got Sirenity joining us too. What's happening out your direction?
Cheers.
That'll work.
Sunday.
Cheers. It's Sunday. Sunday drinking and donut holing. Well,
Love that.
Well, we're not golfers, though.
The balls.
Yep, and Colin's balls. We're going to go ahead and get started, and like we always do, we're going to kick it off with the news buffet. So take it away, me, I guess. Yeah, a former Maine police chief wanted to skip out of a public meeting so badly that it cost him his career. And what is this crap that keeps jumping up here? Law Enforcement Oversight Board has decided to revoke the license of former Freiburg Police Chief Joshua Potvin. After an investigation found Potvin, who had been chief for 6 years, invented a suspicious person report so he could ditch a Freiburg Board of Selectmen meeting on February 2020. The Maine Criminal Justice Academy decision said Potvin engaged in multiple-step fraud that began with texting one of his officers and asking her to call him out of the meeting. Potvin then drove his cruiser to the Freiburg Fairgrounds. He then used a computer in his cruiser to create a false entry in the department dispatch system that he drove there in response to a report of a suspicious person. He also entered the fairground employee's license plate number into the entry. So he did all to get out of a meeting.
Was it not a Zoom meeting? Because it's so easy. I'm telling you.
Well, this was in February of 2020. So that was before everything switched. That was pre-COVID. Nothing was all on Zoom at that point. So this was to miss an in-person meeting. So it was harder to skip out a meeting then, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to skip out on a meeting like that than to show up to a meeting naked. I mean, like that would be probably harder than it is on Zoom. It's really easy to do that on Zoom. Watch.
Yeah. It's what we've been doing waiting for this entire show, Serenity, and now we've been waiting for somebody to do this show naked. And that's why my camera's not on.
I knew you weren't wearing pants. I knew it.
Well, it's Sunday. I never wear pants on Sunday. That's the general rule. This is no pants Sunday. Is what I call it. Because that's all I've done today is sat at home and did voiceover works of a very naughty Mickey Mouse.
I want to sit on that Mickey's lap. I mean, like.
Well, who wouldn't?
Do the voice. Do the voice. Come on.
I don't know if I can do the voice on here.
Oh, Mickey.
There is a story behind that, Colin. I was talking to Serenity before. I was on a movie set this past weekend playing a part of an actual character, and then they found out they needed voiceover work for a dream sequence they were doing that involved stuffed animals, including a very large Mickey Mouse. So I have a very dirty talking Mickey Mouse that's going to be doing some work on this wonderful movie. So.
Which I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to add to your
seriously, this movie's going to be so good.
It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be just to make up for all the dirty stuff that I've done in it. 28 a 28-year-old woman who wanted to promote her Instagram page attempted to blend in with students at a Miami area high school, police said. Monday's stunt at the American Senior High School landed Audrey Francisquini Audrey Francisquini in jail, where she faces charges of burglary, interfering with a school function, and resisting arrest without violence. Records show Francisquini started handing out pamphlets printed with her Instagram account after sneaking onto the campus around 8:30 a.m. Monday, police said. She had a black backpack and carried a skateboard as she walked through the hallways, recording herself. School security tracked her down as she was wandering the hallways while students were in classrooms, an arrest report said. Francisquini told investigators she was looking for the registration office. 28-year-old in a high school trying to get followers on her Instagram. How desperate do you have to be for followers, and pretending to be a student?
You know, I would give her an F in this department. She definitely, I mean, it's original, but not that original.
Yeah, it's not that original because of 21 Jump Street back in the 80s and 90s. That's what that show was. They were just cops and not Instagram promoters.
But everything's based on what? Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Instagram followers now?
I believe so. Instagram followers,
Okay.
the new cryptocurrency. There's gonna be a trade
enough for that
in
Pokemon Go.
What's that?
Yeah, she just wasn't good enough she wasn't good enough for that Pokemon Go game that everybody was like jumping off of cliffs and shit to try to catch Pokemons or something.
Right. Which that makes sense. If I was into Pokemon Go, I'd want to jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun game, I have to say. It gets you out there.
I guess there are a lot worse things you could do with your time, because at least you are outside doing stuff. But still, I don't know. I've never played. I didn't grow up with Pokemon, so that was a little after my video gaming time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never into
more like
Pokemon either.
I was Magic the Gathering, not like Pokemon. And what is the other one? Dragon Ball Z?
something like that. I've heard of them.
Yeah, Magic.
They do exist.
Magic's a good game for sure. Pokemon, not so much. Not for me.
I just know one of them
like
involves
the
a
pets
Squirtle and
from Magic.
Pokeballs, so I'm not sure. I don't want to play with anything that's got Pokeballs in it, because they get tender. A motorist was arrested after an officer observed him in the back seat of a Tesla traveling on San Francisco Bay Area freeway. The California Highway Patrol said. Param Sharma, 25, was arrested for alleged reckless driving and disobeying a peace officer, the Highway Patrol said in a statement Tuesday. Multiple 911 calls Monday evening reported a person seated in the back seat of a Tesla Model 3 without anyone in the driver's seat while the vehicle traveled on Interstate 80 across the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. A highway patrolman, patrol motorcycle officer spotted the Tesla, confirmed the solo occupant was in the back seat, took action to stop the car, and saw the occupant move to the driver's seat before the car stopped because there was nobody. How is this a self-driving thing? Do they actually have those now?
I
Apparently,
think so.
Yeah, must be autopilot.
Yeah,
It's like that movie Airplane.
There
No.
you go. They had to reinflate him.
Yeah. He got deflated in the front seat. Hit too much
Right.
drink or something.
Right, and the inflation nozzle is on the belt, which makes
Right.
always
When you get
makes
a
for a
pump
bad
on it.
picture. Yes.
Oh, you saw that movie?
Airplane. Oh yeah.
Who
The guy had a
hasn't?
drinking problem.
That's.
The guy had a bad drinking problem. He could,
Oh yeah.
he could never hit his mouth. He kept spilling all over the place. It was a drinking problem. It was terrible.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's always been one of my favorite movies. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump off of my list of movies, my list of news stories, because I was sent one a little while ago. From Serenity, so she sent this one out to me. If I can get my phone to cooperate on here, which it doesn't seem to want to. Let's see, because this is definitely a fun story. A Texas
Bum,
woman continues
bum, bum.
A Texas woman continues to recover in the ICU after her hand sanitizer allegedly caught fire while she was trying to light a candle. Kate Wise was left with severe burns on her entire body. Wise, who lives in Round Rock, told the station that on Sunday she put on hand sanitizer that she keeps to protect herself and 3 daughters from coronavirus. But when she lit a candle, her hand caught fire. It can be something as small as lighting a candle, Wise said. Because of the hand sanitizer, it lit my whole this is her statement. It lit my whole ... Everywhere I had hand sanitizer on my hand, it just lit my hand with fire. That's
What?
that was. Do we need to hear that whole statement again? Because that was different.
Yes.
It can be something as small as lighting a candle. Because of the hand sanitizer, it lit my whole ... Everywhere I had hand sanitizer on my hand, it just lit my hand with fire. Didn't light it on fire, lit her hand with fire.
She was getting romantic with herself right there.
it lit my whole. My whole ... That's
At least it's not embarrassing to go and buy lube anymore if you're using that, you know?
Don't confuse hand sanitizer with lube. That even if it's not lit on fire, that will burn.
Oh, it just makes me think about there's one time there's this waitress and like we have certain dishes that you have to flambe with a flame, with a lighter.
Right.
Well, she was standing right over the top of it and it poofed her bangs and she's like, oh shit. She ran off to the bathroom as fast as she could go. And as people at the table are looking at each other, they started busting out laughing. I'm holding my guts, trying not to laugh. She didn't get hurt or anything, but it just singed the ends of her bangs, and she was freaked right out. To see that girl run that fast, I never seen her run that fast when she was waiting tables in my life. But it was hilarious to see it. So I was teasing her, right? I'm always like, smoke on the water and stuff like that. The roof is on fire. I was singing all kinds of crazy stuff in the kitchen for like 2 weeks. I had to razz her. It was too much fun.
Oh, absolutely.
But it makes me think of that. And then there's a friend of mine had some drunk driving issues and he had that blow and go thing in his vehicle. Well, he had hand sanitizer on his hands and the thing set it off. Thinking he was drinking because it had so much alcohol in it. So he had violations that he had to account for and explain why he had these violations on his report when he got the report out of the truck from the company that does this thing. And then explained to the DMV, like, oh, well, I had hand sanitizer. Another time, the guys in the garage where he had it set up to be repaired, they were drinking the night before. They're trying to get the truck to start, so they're blowing into the thing and it's going beep, 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 beep. So then he had to account for that too. He's like, I don't know, here's the receipt. The thing was in the shop. I don't know what to tell you. What a nightmare that was. But yeah, man, that stuff is flammable.
Wait, you're serious? Because like I go to the grocery store and me and my daughter will use the hand sanitizer and it smells so much like tequila that we want to hurl. Like she will never drink tequila in her life. I never will again either. But is there so much alcohol that it's making you blow hot just by having your hand close to it?
It could be, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
there's people that have set them off with mouthwash, I guess.
Is he putting it in his mouth? Is he drinking his sanitizer? Because
you got to hold the thing in your. When you blow into it, you got to hold the thing in your hand. It's just he had too much hand sanitizer on his hands, and this is my buddy Joe, who I was on a pipeline with. And so he's like, he's got this thing in his hand, and it's his hand's all gooey with this stuff, and he's like, oh damn, oh man, and all of a sudden it's beeping at him, and he's like, oh shit, So then he's got to call his lawyer, tell his lawyer, oh yeah, I had this thing happen, so just so you know, it's going to be on the report. Yeah, so he felt like about this tall when he had to go in front of the review,
right?
And he wasn't drinking. Yeah, they flopped him another year. They made him come back for another review in a whole year over that crap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how sticky the state of Michigan is.
I think any state would be that sticky. I mean, we're all using sanitizer.
Yeah. Well, they got to scrutinize. They don't want just giving drunk people to drive a driver's license to go drive around and be all wasted. So
Oh,
they got to watch what they're doing. They're going to give somebody the license back,
there's
but
some
still.
there's some they do. There's some they do. I knew a guy that had, I think, 18 DUIs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's got to be a record or something.
And
Oh,
he's alive.
he was an idiot. He was
Right?
he was a friend of my dad's. My dad used to go camp in this camping lot out somewhere, and this guy, he was his whole family was a little different. He's I think every male in his family was named Rodney.
Really?
His name was Rodney. He had a brother named Rodney. Yes, a brother named that they were both named Rodney.
No way.
He had,
like, this is my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
Exactly. He had another brother. I can't remember his name, but both of this Rodney's kids were named. One was named Rodney, and the other was named the name of his other brother. It's like they had two names between the entire family. My guess is that's the only ones they knew how to spell on a birth certificate. That was what my theory was on that. But this guy was out there, man.
That makes sense. I got you.
Related.
My
related to Daryl and Daryl.
Yeah, my dad's camped with some unusual folks in his day.
Well, as long as he's not using sanitizer next to the hole, I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah, you don't want to sanitize your hand next to the campfire either, because that would probably be bad. You'd probably burn your hole. ... The hazards of not properly disposing of a fake body. A UK woman was mortified after an errantly placed Halloween prop prompted a squad of 10 police officers to surround her home on suspicion that she'd committed murder. I arrived home from school, from the school run to see two police cars driving away from outside my house, said Bedfordshire's Cara Louise, 28. The fiasco was sparked by a dummy wrapped in garbage bags and duct tape that the mother of two had used as spooky decoration for a holiday kids party. My 5-year-old boy is really into dressing up for every occasion, so we did the inside up in the circus theme, and he dressed as it. I'm guessing the clown from the anyway. So yeah, the fake body wrapped up wrapped up in duct tape and garbage bags. I'm going to share this here so you guys get to see what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, I can definitely see how that would add a little bit of confusion there. So
whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not a way to dispose of that. That looks pretty bad.
Yeah,
they could have at least chopped it limb from limb.
Exactly. Now, everybody knows you don't put the whole body out in the trash can like that. You got to chop it up.
Right? Put it in a suitcase or something.
Right. Be smart. You know, there's no need to make it obvious like that.
Right. 50-gallon drum, something.
Right. Exactly. We know. We'll figure this out. Just stick with this show, and we will explain all these things to you, so you know how to dispose of the bodies when the time comes.
So in our restaurant, we have these mannequins. We have a couple mannequins in the restaurant, right? And years ago, somebody broke in, and we've got them sitting up in the bar area. So they got to the bar area, and they popped open the cash register, and they looked up in all the mirrors, and they saw these two mannequins sitting at a table behind them. They freaked out and ran out the back door. All they did was break the cash register in the back door, and they got freaked out by mannequins. So this guy was an idiot, right? But like later on, I always like to mess with the waitresses, right? Like I'll take the mannequins and I'll move them around so that they'll come in for their shift and they'll flip the lights on and be like, oh my God, So I did this once.
So nice.
So I put one of them in a big garbage bag up to his neck, right? And I put it down in the basement by the ice machine. So when the opening waitress came in to get a bucket of ice, she had to walk right past him. And I'm sitting in the next room just waiting. And I hear the footsteps coming down the stairs, and then I hear, ah! It was great. Oh, I busted out laughing so hard. Yeah. That waitress like, yeah, you got me, you bastard. You got me real good. She's like, I think I almost eat a little.
Oh, Dawn, do it. Do it.
What?
He was doing the Mickey Mouse type thing. Oh, you got me real bad. Yeah.
Oh, you got me real bad with that one. Oh. Yeah.
There it is.
I just shit my
Sounds just
pants.
like her.
Oh.
Oh my
Just a
god,
little.
that's so awesome.
Yep, Disney's gonna sue me now.
Oh god, they don't have the time.
Oh,
Well,
that's what that Colin. That's why I miss working in restaurants. Is some of the shit you could do to people. I was telling somebody the story the other day. You know the little sandwich toothpicks with the little frilly stuff on the end that they use for like club sandwiches and stuff.
oh yeah, we use them all the time.
Oh yeah, you shoot them through straws.
Oh, every chance I get, I try to take the dishwasher.
Oh yeah, I was working in high school. I was working in this restaurant, and one of our cooks was out on break, and the door between the little break table and the kitchen had about an inch gap in it. So I stuck a straw through there with one of those in it. And I just shot it through, and he comes running into the kitchen, going, "Who the hell did?" It's still stuck in his forehead. I mean. So we had a battle that because the bosses left early that night, so we had a toothpick war that evening. Good times.
Oh. Very cool. That's
Good
fun.
time.
Well, that's like a friend of mine. Another friend of mine's a cook at another restaurant, and they had a new dishwasher that was just green. He was like 16. He didn't know nothing. He's just a big dummy. Just walked in the door, and they're like, "All right, well, hey, we need stuff from across the street. Run over to the gas station. We need mint jelly, peanut butter, and KY jelly." Well, he came back with this weird look on his face, and he said, "Yeah, the guy at the counter said he couldn't help me. He didn't know what to say."
Oh, this Serenity is still sending me news articles, and this one is probably better than some of the ones I have right now because there's another one I want to talk about, but we'll hit this one first. We'll hit because anytime you get to have a cockfighting story, it's got it's got to be on there. A rooster with a 3-inch blade strapped to its leg slashed its owner to death during an illegal cockfighting event in India, officials say. It all went down last week in southern India, where officials say a group of people gathered to watch the bloody sport in the village of Lothanur in the state of Telangana. Officials say the bird's owner, identified as 45-year-old Thangula Satish, was attempting to handle the rooster. Sometimes when you're attempting to handle your rooster, bad things are going to happen. When something spooked the animal, causing it to stab Satish in the groin. FYI, that's typical for birds to be equipped with blades on their legs during a cockfight, which leads to bloodier and quicker matches between the roosters. The whole thing is pretty horrific, especially if you're Satish. In this case, it sounds like the bird struck Satish's femoral artery, causing him to bleed out at an alarming rate. So there you go.
Good cock gone bad.
It's good cock gone bad, or bad cock gone worse, I think. Because if he's already, but he's only got it only was a 3-inch blade, so it was just if you
that big. Mickey Mouse could take it.
Oh yeah. He said. I'm not going to say the line that I said earlier that's going to be in there. But yeah, Mickey Mouse could take a 3-inch blade like it's nothing. They just take like a champ. Say, "Oh, that's nothing."
If it was a 6 or an 8-inch blade, they might have something right on a tombstone. But 3, I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah.
That's my pinky, guys. Let's talk about this. Okay, let's just be real.
And that was apparently Satish's pinky as well. He got. That's a wrong cockfight there.
My neighbors are out.
Okay, we'll do one more news story. We'll do one more story in the news buffet. If you ever happen to find a dryer sheet inside your mailbox, it's not a prank. There's actually a pretty simple explanation for how it got there. Turns out some postal workers use a dryer sheet as a means of keep from getting stung by wasps while placing mail in residents' mailboxes. I can't tell you how many times, especially during this part of year, where I've opened up a box to see a little nest with about 3 to 5 yellow jackets just chilling, one letter carrier under the username ISTRX13. Recently wrote in a Reddit thread, if I'm really unlucky, they will have made their nest at the very back of the box, so I wind up sticking my hand in not knowing they're there. We all know how temperamental these insects are. Last year alone, I was stung 10 times on 10 separate occasions. So apparently, if you wrap your hand...
I mean, like, when we're talking about our box, like, my box is down here, and if I'm putting it in the back, like, I don't want it in my rear end. I don't get what they're talking about, man. My box is clean of any yellow jackets, I swear.
Yeah,
I have totally misjudged your relationship with the mailman.
I'm very good friends with them, okay?
Apparently.
His name is Dale. He has 3 kids, 2 ex-wives. Okay, sorry.
And it's as intimately familiar with your box, apparently. So
he uses it more than anyone else.
Well, that's true. That's true. I'm guessing that's true. I'm just taking your word for it. I don't know. So if you ever
I'm gonna have to send you something in the mail now.
Yeah. So yeah. So if you ever find a dryer
I
sheet,
use my box.
if you ever find a dryer sheet stuffed in there, you know what it's about.
I'm gonna send Serenity
You know
some
what?
dryer sheets all the way to Denver.
That would be so worth your time, honestly. My box needs some use here, I have to admit.
That's
Just watch out for swarming insects.
That sounds so funny to say. Like, seriously, I'm laughing at myself because I can't believe I'm saying that my box needs some use.
that's a desperate cry for help right there. That's what that is. Keep going. Well, that was the end. That was the end of the news buffet for us.
Oh, I thought you said you had a few more on there.
Well, I said I had 2 more. I did yours and then did that one. Do we have to have another one? We can find another one. There is always more. We'll talk about about Freckles and Cupcake. We've already discussed your box. Let's talk Freckles and Cupcake. It was the wildlife equivalent of a 911 call when a crew from the Virginia Living Museum rescued an extremely rare calico lobster from the display tank at a Red Lobster restaurant in Manassas, Virginia. In late April, Red Lobster reached out to the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. Then the AZA reached out to the Virginia Living Museum after the restaurant crew spotted an unusual speckled lobster in their catch of the day. Senior Director of Animal Welfare and Conservation, Chris Crippen, and curator Patricia Loranyuk. Now I have to spell her first name for it. It's Patricia, but it's PATRYCGA because she has to be unique. They jumped in the rescue vehicle, plotted a course to Manassas, and arrived on the scene before the dinner crowd arrived. We knew how close we were to be able to rescue it, and we had the perfect home for it, said VLM Media and Communications Manager Judy Triska. They knew they had something unusual and probably in their lot of live lobsters they bring in. Who the hell wrote this? Hold on. They knew they had something unusual and probably in their lot of live lobsters they bring in. They saw that this was not your average lobster, she said. The lobster is now named Freckles. So in case...
Aww.
Yes, Freckles.
The only thing I got was that last part. Yep.
That the lobster is now
so they
named
actually
Freckles.
Do catch their fish.
At least they saved them.
I'm just confused. All of ours is like frozen. Like, we don't get any fresh fish here. They actually do live catches of the day.
With lobster, yeah.
My mom and dad just went to Florida and they had a great time. They said they got to see all kinds of critters. And my mom got to see the basilica in St. Augustine. She said it was great, but they're having all kinds of health problems. They had one bartender who was there by herself servicing 60 people at once. in a bar, and it was just beer and wine. But can you imagine that? 60 people by yourself? Huh. And then serve
I
lobster?
could do it.
Yep, all for one lobster. That's yeah. So
Yeah.
Freckles the lobster.
I like
See,
lobster.
yeah, Freckles wasn't a very good story. Okay, we'll go
Freckles
with
makes me sad. They caught a lobster just to put him in a tank. Why didn't they just catch and release?
well, it was Red Lobster. They catch it to eat it. But they saved this one. Freckles was spared the butter.
If you don't eat it, it has to go to a museum.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's because it's rare, because it's a very rare calico lobster. So they had to save it. We're going to go back to Florida to end this out.
Is it like white with polka dots?
I was
How much
kind
did
of
they have to
yellowish.
pay for this lobster?
It was kind of
Did they just give
yellowish.
them a lobster?
I would
leave a tip?
imagine. I'd think they should have sold it, because it's rare. Why wouldn't you sell it? All right.
Well,
let
yeah,
me see,
lobster's $12.95.
let me see if I
they
can
gotta
show
pay for the
you.
lobster.
I'll try to
They
get you
want
a
'em, they
good
gotta
picture. Try to get you a good picture of Freckles here, so that we
You
can
want this
all.
lobster right here? It'd be top dollar, double price.
There you go. There's Freckles.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit in at Red Lobster, because they're I guess he'd be
Totally not
kind of red. I guess he'd be kind of red when you boil him.
Well, they could have given matching wristbands at least. Jeez.
Right? Yeah, that does look a little odd.
Yeah.
I guess this
he's
is the
crazy.
stronger claw. He
like
has
that
to have
cocktail.
more on there.
Right. Yeah. they didn't want to
It
get in
looks like
trouble
he's
like that.
like shiny, translucent rainbow, like that black claw.
Yep, he's a rare, shiny, translucent rainbow lobster. Sounds delicious.
So did they charge them the regular price? Yeah. Did they charge them the regular price for lobster, or was it double?
I would imagine if you have a rare lobster like that, you save that for when somebody ultra wealthy walks into Red Lobster and you say, we have a special rare speckled calico lobster for you, sir, and then you make them pay top dollar. That's at least 4 times what the normal lobster would cost in Red Lobster, because it's rare.
Per
And
pound.
there are rich people out there that would pay a lot more for a rare animal like that.
Right. That's a Rockefeller lobster right there, or a Trump lobster.
Right. Not to be confused with the B-52's rock lobster, but
No, that was
Right.
all right, that's enough lobster. I'm full. We'll go back to my story about a Hummer gone wrong. Because we're heading to Florida. A Hummer burst into flames late Wednesday morning, right after firefighters say the driver filled up several gas cans in Citrus County. Citrus County fire rescue crews were called to South Alabama Avenue near West Grover Cleveland Boulevard. There's so many identifiers here. We know it's just, I don't know, so many mouthy names in this. Wednesday for the fire. When they got to the scene, they found a 2004 Hummer H2 on fire. According to the spokesperson for Citrus County Fire Rescue, the driver just filled up gas cans in the Texaco Food Mart near the scene. Firefighters found 4 5-gallon containers filled with gasoline in the back of the Hummer. Crews worked quickly and were able to put the fire out by 11:09 a.m. So 9 minutes to put out their Hummer fire.
Wow, they were really humming.
They were really humming. Yep, that's it.
Well, I've
Have
heard
you
of
ever
it
driven a
getting
Hummer?
hot before, but damn.
Yeah, that's how that Hummer burst into flames.
It's a summer Hummer.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah,
Not
that's
to be confused with the Bahama Mama.
right. Now I just wonder if those were proper gas cans that were filled up, because I've seen with this supposed gas shortage going on, I've seen pictures of cars with plastic bags filled with gasoline. And
Oh no, I'm guessing those gas cans were probably filled with hand sanitizer.
right. And it lit their whole ... on fire.
Damn right.
Yeah. But,
You're not supposed to put it there.
right. Right. Nothing worse than
Oh.
a burning Hummer. That's
Yeah.
Better get
Whoa.
tested for what are they?
His own fire.
STDs.
Oh, so yeah. So
Okay.
oddly enough, you
I-
mentioned it, right? So a friend of mine is into Hummers and stuff, and he was just saying just yesterday, he says, yeah, the H2 never gets stuck because they got independent suspension and they don't have axles or whatever.
huh.
So they're awesome for that, but they are still gas hogs. So they probably did have
Right.
sanitizer because they couldn't handle the gas bill normally.
Right.
Maybe they just ran out
right.
of gas. They one of them states, huh?
No, well, apparently, of course, all the panic buying of gas right now, but Florida gets 90% of its gas supply from cargo ships, according to this article. So they wouldn't have had a problem down there with the gas shortage. But you know, people are stupid and panicky.
Right. They just float in a barge with a bunch of gas on it. There you go.
Right,
All set.
which makes a lot more sense. But I mean, if you're, I would think, well, maybe this person is living in one of the states that gets its gas from that pipeline that was shut down. So they were driving to Florida to get the 5 gallons of gas to bring back up, because you would want to do that in a vehicle as fuel efficient as a Hummer.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna save so much money in gas by buying it in Florida.
Right.
Because that's
What are
yeah,
the
you
gas
never know,
prices
though.
around you guys?
I think
what
I
is it?
filled up Friday. It was like 289, something like that, which
A
is a bit
gallon?
ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm paying $3.50, $3.20 to $3.50 a gallon here.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's like 260 here or something.
Yeah.
Wow, gas is insane. That's the joke of the day. The joke of the day is the gas prices.
Oh
That's
yeah.
damn right.
Yeah,
Or the
that's-
lumber prices.
Yep, and lumber prices. Basically everything. Everything's unaffordable, and we're all fucked. And that puts a good place to wrap up the news buffet with everything's out of control. Life
Right.
costs way too much. We're all fucked. Go get a burning
The
Hummer.
end.
Well, I got
Right?
something to bring here
Be careful
Uh,
with your hand sanitizer and your cock with a 3-inch blade.
Oh, that's right. It's a good bloody.
Can't forget about that.
Right,
Yeah, good
right.
bloody man.
Well, do we have anything for the after hours? Do we have anything we want to discuss briefly on after hours, or do we just want to get into Colin's corner and cuddle up with some positive shit?
Oh yeah, I got a mix of today.
Yeah, do it up.
All right. Well, we'll hop on over to Colin's corner then.
Oh, okay, guys. Well, today I was looking at some different things and I was watching some videos. And I've been trying to keep up on some of these things with the stimulus they're supposed to be passing and everything. And it's
Another
nice
one?
to give, and I got that third stimulus that helped out pay a couple bills and things. And so I'm waiting on this fourth one. And apparently they're talking about, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a month if they pass that bill, which is kind of a bad chance of that happening, but you never
Right.
know. And then they're going to be giving extra hundreds of dollars away for each child for people who have dependents. That's already passed, I guess. So that's kind of positive. And then I was watching a couple different things, a couple of YouTube videos that people were putting out about what's going on with our economy and different things. And apparently, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, groceries are have an overall increase this year over last year in March of 2.6%. Right now, coffee's average price is like $4.67 a pound, up 8%. Eggs are up 7%. Bacon and bread are up 11%. Chicken's up 10%. Beef is up 10%. And then apparently Procter and Gamble is talking about raising the price of Pampers, Tampax, and Always. Which I thought was kind of odd, but like, well, okay, whatever. They want to make their money any way they can.
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola is even going to raise their prices for the first time in 3 years. And apparently these things are all going on. And the contributing factors to all the price hikes and stuff is that production high or cost is high. With the minimum wage debate that's been going on, of course, people are like, if they're big business CEOs, they're like, oh, we got to hike up all our prices because they're going to pass this, and then we're all going to be, paying out the nose in labor, right? Well, some of them don't really care that much about it, the minimum wage, so they're all for it, and they're actually going upon themselves, different big corporations, to give out the $15 an hour. And so that's what is it? And Chipotle is one of the places that's going with the new minimum wage of $15 on their own, and they're going to raise their prices to accommodate, because apparently they don't have freezers there. They have everything fresh produce and everything in the refrigerator. But to handle the cost, that's how they're going to do it. They're going to raise their cost of all their product. So yeah, so there's higher product cost because this minimum wage stuff, and people are, they've had labor issues this past couple months here, because they want people to go back to work, but everybody's getting paid to sit on their butts, so it makes it difficult for the economy. Trucking companies are short on drivers, therefore they got to pay people extra or time and a half or whatever to do extra runs. So it's costing them more. The pandemic also disrupted the supply chains all over the globe. So then you're stuck with, well, if something's in demand, it's going to be higher priced because there's limited supplies when the economy's down, especially with all the people out of work because they were sick, or they had to take care of people that were sick, or maybe their business that they worked normally was just closed, like restaurants were for a while.
Right.
So it affected a lot of different things. So then, of course, there's this gas pipeline hacking with fuel shortages, leaving like 10 different states without gas in certain places. I mean, that's pretty hardcore, but here we are, they're making changes. They're figuring out ways around it, figuring out this hacking stuff and straightening it all out so people can get back to their normal jobs and stuff. I mean, I can't imagine being a truck driver, and being stranded someplace like that, because, oh, yeah, get to the truck stop, and yeah, you'll be here till tomorrow. We're all waiting until the gas truck comes to fill up.
Because everybody panicked and went and filled all their garbage bags and their Hummers with gas.
And their Hummers, right.
Right.
So, I mean, the guys that are the professionals, they're there to get their diesel. Like, no, everybody bought it up, and then the pipeline got hacked, so they didn't have any more. They didn't have gas. I mean, I couldn't even imagine being a truck driver and all of a sudden, like, great, now I'm stranded for a 24-hour layover in this town that I never ever been, and I can't even drive around because I don't have the gas.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd just be pretty terrible, but hopefully they're getting all that stuff back on track now. So like I said, they've got a couple bills they're looking at, which is kind of cool, with maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month. That'd be great. Until the pandemic is over. And then they're talking about raising Social Security like $200 a month, which is good for anybody collecting that. But I don't get none of that, so I'm just like, give me some money, man.
Right? They're passing it out. And what's bothering me is where's it coming from? They're just printing more. Like we're looking at like, woohoo, we're getting the cash, we're getting the check. But honestly, the more they print, the less it's worth. So if we're getting $2,000 by the end of the pandemic, that $2,000 actually only worth maybe $2, because they're printing out trillions of dollars every month. I mean, it's insane how much everyone's excited, but they don't realize the consequences of it. Like, it's insane.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, there's historical evidence that doesn't work to just print more and more and more. Look at the Zimbabwe and the hyperinflation they had over there. I don't know I can't remember exactly when it happened, but I mean, at one time there was a bill where they had to remove 6 zeros from the end of their currency just to make it a reasonable number. And it still didn't do shit because the hyperinflation went so fast that everything they had was worthless. So.
Do you think that's going to happen to us, and it's going to crash our dollar so they can bring in a more universal financial system?
Are we talking about the globalism, the Amero that they were talking about?
I'm not talking about anything. It could be Bitcoin. It could be cryptocurrency, Dogecoin. I'm just saying, like,
it could happen.
What happens?
It could happen, because basically all it is, you're putting faith in that's going to be worth something. That's the only thing that gives money their value, is the faith you place in it to have value. And anytime you keep printing it and printing it, you lose faith because there's so fucking much of it that it has no value anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
The more we print, the less it's just
Yeah.
like when you get a new credit card and you use it right away. Well, that money just magically appeared on an account. There's no
Right.
gold backing that. There's
Yeah,
nothing backing it up.
there's we don't even have to print it anymore. As long as there's an account somewhere with that number in it, whatever the hell that number says, you just there it is. Because it
Right,
used
and
to
it
be, I mean, that's how the
You can have
whole
a
run
dollar.
on the bank thing used to start, is because they would issue credit. And originally you had your gold in the bank, you had your money in the bank, and you'd go to the bank and get that money. Well, now the bank doesn't have the money either. They just they
Yeah.
have a certain amount there, but most of it, it's imaginary currency. It's not even a physical thing anymore, because everything's
It's not
an
even backed
account.
by gold. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like it used to be,
that went out in the
Numbers.
70s.
they used to have
Yep,
like a
numbers on the screen.
stockpile of gold.
Yeah,
An IMR.
yeah.
Right.
That's why it's
And
all
that sucks, 'cause
faith-based
you-
now. We have a faith-based currency.
Oh,
It sounds funny, but it's
I
true.
believe- You believe in it? Because I don't believe in any of it.
Yeah, I don't.
If you're an atheist, does that mean you don't believe in money either?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing you still are going to believe in, even though it's still faith. Because most people don't realize it's faith-based. It's whatever our reptilian overlords tell us it is.
On
That's
right.
Antarctica. They have to be living in Antarctica.
Well, maybe that's where they're hoarding all the money and the hand sanitizer and the toilet paper.
And the
That's where it all
gasoline.
went.
Hand
Yeah.
sanitizer, toilet paper, and gasoline. That's all we need to survive the end of the world.
Yeah, that and this chair and this lamp and the remote control.
That's all I need. I don't need
And
one
Wi-Fi.
other thing. I need that. I need my paddle game.
Yeah, this paddle ball right here. Yeah.
This
Oh, crap.
ashtray, my thermos.
Yeah, my thermos. Oh.
So there we are. We went from all the positivity straight to Steve Martin and the Jerk, which definitely a favorite movie. We're doing all kinds of great movie references that all the kids are saying, what the hell is that?
Right.
Oh.
Here I get some other stuff for you. Good news in history. This day, May 16th, 1966, the Beach Boys released their album Pet Sounds. Ranked number 2 by Rolling Stone magazine's list of 500 greatest albums of all time, behind Sgt. Pepper. Then this album had Wouldn't It Be Nice on it, God Only Knows, and Sloop John B. Of course, 5 months later, they released Good Vibrations as a single, and of course, it went phenomenal all over the world.
I haven't listened to the Beach Boys in forever.
Yeah, I was surprised with that.
Like, I just have
I
it
didn't
stuck
know
in my
that
head
was-
now.
Yeah, Good Vibrations. Yeah, gotta love it. Beach Boys. So then I was looking around a couple other articles here and there, and I seen I don't know if Serenity, you might be familiar with this here. Outsider.com had a write-up about Gene Simmons from Kiss going on Twitter and getting all huffy puffy and making comments about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a sham, not to include Iron Maiden. Disgusting. And then shortly after that, he posted, sadly, Rage Against the Machine shut out of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Hall should be ashamed of themselves. So how do you feel about that? I think Iron Maiden should be in there.
Oh,
And I think
definitely.
Rage Against the Machine should definitely be in there too. You know,
Isn't
but
like,
they still have a chance to.
well, okay, can you tell me who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020? Because if you could tell me that, I swear to God, there's like some gangsta rap.
Oh yeah. Well, Jay-Z was. Jay-Z is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There are several
Tupac.
rappers that made it. Yeah, Tupac. Yeah, I'm not going to diss Tupac. I love Tupac, but I'm gonna.
I'm just saying that
But
it's the Rock and
yeah,
Roll Hall
Rock
of
and Roll
Fame.
Hall of Fame. I mean, if it's one thing if you want to call it the
Tupac
Music
doesn't
Hall
mean-
of Fame, but
Yeah,
you're specifically labeling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Iron Maiden and
Yeah,
Rage
they
Against the
should have a
Machine
rap and
should
hip
totally
hop.
be in there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
They should have a rap and hip hop hall. They
right,
should.
right, or just combine
That
it
would only
all.
be fair.
Just which they did. That's just it,
we didn't
just
approve
keep
of it.
Right, right. We need to
Kind of
take a
like-
fucking vote on this.
Right?
The people that
next
listen to
election-
music need to be heard.
We should totally
Right, so,
do it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I would vote.
Make flyers, make shirts.
You're saying
Get
we
on
should
the
start
ballot.
we should start our own Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We'll start a coup.
There you
I
We'll
think that
take
we
them
should
over.
take
We'll
back
take them
what
over.
was ours. Yeah, like we just need to take it back. You know,
Because
like
they're up in
certain words.
Cleveland. They're up in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Colin,
get
that's
Rudder
right.
over there.
That's right between me and you. I think we can both meet up there and we can take them.
Just the
Good.
two of you.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget to dress like a
Rudder-
Viking with an
Rudder
American
meeting.
flag.
Oh yeah, definitely. You dress like a Viking with an American flag, and you go in there and you make a bunch of threats, and you claim that you're doing this for them. and
It
then it's
goes over so
and
well.
then it's all
don't
about my
worry.
freedoms.
We'll claim we're doing it in the name of the Catholic Church. It'll be fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we could take them. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How tough can they be?
Right.
They're
right.
probably
yeah.
More
we'll just
stone
get
than you
Rage.
are.
We'll get the
They-
guys from Rage.
They
we'll
probably
get the
got
guy
a
from
couple of
Rage.
security guards up there that probably aren't even making the $15 an hour that they want for minimum wage. They're not going to care.
Right.
We
Right,
show
we'll
up
get
and
James
start.
coming down
We
there,
show up and start being challenging to them. They're probably going to walk away. They're probably people that they're probably retirees that went back to work so they can afford toilet paper, gas, and lumber
Right. I'm saying hand sanitizer.
and hand sanitizer because their Hummer blew up.
Right. Now they got like a bus. So as crazy as this could get, this year's inductees that they did approve and are going to be inducted are Tina Turner, who was previously there with Ike and Tina,
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Carole King, who was previously involved with Jerry Goffey, who I'm not sure who that is, but apparently they did some writing together, so she's included in for that. So she's a second timer. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, who of course
Okay.
was with
That's
the Nirvana.
yes. Hands
Gabriel.
down, pray down to him.
Yes, we're not worthy, Dave. We love you, bruh. We love you. We love you long time. For 25 years, apparently. Because that's the minimum. You got to be 25-year record. Your record has to be 25 years old to be inducted. So, other than that, then we've got Todd Rundgren, Jay-Z, and the Go-Go's. So then you look at who didn't make the cut. Kate Bush, Devo. You remember?
Oh, I love Devo. Whip it good.
Right, everybody knows that. How come they didn't make it? They're like totally rockers. The
yeah.
funny hat, man. Big,
Oh, yeah, that was- I have a good friend, local comedian, that is the biggest Devo fan I've ever met in my life. Absolutely loves Devo.
Wait, they had more music than just that
Yes.
song?
Yes, they did. He's got all their albums, I'm sure.
I never
Wow,
heard
I've
of it.
never heard somebody be like, I love Devo.
Yep.
Like, what's your
I
favorite band?
have a good friend that is a Devo fan all the way.
I want to get him on the show. I would love to talk to him
He's
about
been
their
on the
hit
he's
songs.
been on the Life radio show many times.
Well, bring me
fact,
on next time he is.
I tell you what, I'll see if he's available next Sunday to come on for an interview, because he does have a film that he's making right now that he's going to promote, where I get to be in a Western again.
Oh,
Cool.
yes, bring him.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of him, see if he could, because I'm sure he will, and he's a super fun guy to have on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We can whip it and whip it good.
Whip it good.
Devo didn't make it this year. Dionne Warwick Warwick, she didn't make the cut. Rage Against the Machine didn't make it. Shaka Khan didn't make it. Iron Maiden didn't make it. Against
Don't repeat
Iron
that.
Maiden. All of us are really upset, Hall. Rock
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame, all of us are upset. Rage Against the Machine and Iron Maiden. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. So then Mary
What do
J.
they know?
Blige,
What do they know about music?
right? Yeah, they're just a rock hall.
They're like our grandparents.
Exactly.
No
Exactly.
boys.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I
they
can't do that voice.
I'm just going by the amount of records they sold. I really, shut up.
Well, maybe
Right?
they look at the bands and they figure out, well, certain band members of certain bands have big mouths, so they talk a lot. So they figured, well, we'll do these guys like next year or the year after, because if we put them in the lineup, they're going to take the whole show.
Right,
So
right.
maybe-
You don't want a 6-hour, induction ceremony because everybody does this long speech that you got to
Right.
break them up a little bit, get the long-winded people.
Right.
So you're saying you're saying Bruce Dickinson might be long-winded and just keep talking the whole time.
He does have
Sure,
the biggest head I've ever seen. Like, just circumference-wise compared to anyone else. No, this isn't personality. Don't give me that look. His head is just probably 15% larger than anyone else I have ever met. Like, sorry, the truth.
Okay, I did not
Look
know.
it up. Look it up online.
Well,
Look
some
up
guys
Bruce
just have
Dickinson.
big
That's the first thing I'm going to do when I get off of here is I'm going to Google Bruce Dickinson's head circumference.
Look at a picture of the whole band. Like, everyone else, they have like mini heads. Like, they shrunk down their heads.
Maybe
So
maybe
his is,
he's
like,
got a
big
normal
and
size
big.
head and everybody else has these little miniature shrunken heads.
The rest of them are pea brains. There you go.
Right.
Doo-doo.
That's why he's the front man. He's,
Names of the talking heads.
They say the talking heads. Are they in the
Hey, I
Rock
bet
and
you
Roll
there.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah, they stole their name. See, that was
Wait,
their first.
I think the Talking Heads are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
Okay. It would make
Yeah,
sense that they were, yeah.
Yeah, the talking
Pretty
heads.
sure. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shaka Khan didn't make it. Iron Maiden didn't make it. Mary J. Blige, as much as I remember Mary J. being very popular back in the day, I guess she deserves a shot as long as she's been around 25 years. The New York Dolls, I'm only familiar with a little bit of their music, a little bit of their story, and not really that much. But there was some people that were upset about that I saw some interviews on. Fela Kuti, I don't even know who that is. And LL Cool J. But LL Cool J did earn a spot there as a musical excellence award, along with Bill Preston and Randy Rhoads from Ozzy,
Right.
legendary guitarist there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then let's see, early influence award goes to Kraftwerk, Charlie Patton and Gil Scott Heron, which Gil Scott Heron, I don't know. I'm not sure where those people are from, but if you want to know more, you can look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website, and I'm sure they will give you lots of information. So yeah, that's
Go click on their website. Don't worry about anything else.
So yeah, I'm pumped and I'm happy for Dave Grohl for being inducted with Foo Fighters. I think that's great. Jay-Z, although I don't know if Jay-Z really should be in the Rock Hall of Fame, he should probably be in like a hip hop or rap Hall of Fame. But he deserves some credit. I can remember a lot of big hits when he first came out, that were real popular. And so yeah, I guess he deserves mention. Tina Turner, well, yeah, I can't remember. I can't think of my childhood being without Tina Turner involved in it because my family owned a strip joint at the time, and so we heard lots of Tina Turner.
Right.
And I remember certain people that were dancers who were around at the time had the same hairdo. So it was.
We need a strip club Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hey, Shotgun Willie's it's the major big strip club here in Colorado. They have the strip club and then a dispensary attached to it, you know, because you got to smoke pot before you see the strippers. They should have a Hall of Fame. Like, they have the money.
Like boobs and buds. Eh?
Let's do the Strip Hall of Fame in Colorado. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'll send them a
Makes sense to me.
petition. Okay, we'll figure this out.
Oh yeah, we'll get it going.
Terrible. Oh, so hats off to all the people that did get inducted to the Rock Hall of Fame. And the ones who didn't, Rage and Iron Maiden, I'll be gunning for you. Devo, maybe not so much, but yeah, you still deserve a spot.
Yeah, Devo, give Devo a spot in there.
Yeah, and kudos to Gene Simmons.
What do they
for
mean
getting
by a
on-
spot, though? Like,
I don't know. Give him a spot in the corner. Just hang a plaque, something. I don't know.
I'm legitimately asking, what is?
I don't know. Hang their
Like,
picture on the refrigerator in the break room or something.
That works.
There you
I like
go.
that one. Okay. So comment below if you've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of
I like
Fame and could explain to me exactly what does it mean to be in
yeah.
the Hall of Fame. Like, is your picture on the wall or is your plaque on the steps? I don't get it.
Yeah, a bronzed cod piece or something. Depending if you're that'd be for Kiss or something. To have like a.
Right?
I believe they all have an exhibit. I believe they all have a small exhibit, some type of a mention on the wall somewhere there of about their band and what they were about.
That's what I.
You know, but there's a list and
they
they're
keep
on the
going.
website.
Like, you
Yeah,
can't have an
yeah.
exhibit
There's
for
all
everyone.
kinds of stuff in.
Okay.
No. But I imagine there's probably more virtual stuff to go through there. I bet you they have video stuff that's like, you know, push the button here to watch this video about this artist, yada yada yada. You know, it's probably just as interactive as it would be online, if not more. Because I mean, they're going to charge you admission, right? So you better get something good out of it. But
Right.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to go there someday. You know, maybe we can get to meet up with Rudder. He lives down there, doesn't he? He lives like in Indiana or Ohio or something.
He's over
Yeah.
in Indiana.
get-
I'm in Ohio, so
Right.
that'd be about 4 or 5 hours from me.
Well, shit. Maybe we should do that sometime. You know, we'll plan it.
Yeah. We'll
that'd be cool.
bring our equipment in and do a broadcast from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we are protesting the fact that Iron Maiden's not in there.
Agreed.
Right. Agreed.
And
Yes, I agree. We should do it. And if nothing else, we should orchestrate an animated version of it because that would be fun, like Celebrity Deathmatch.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And kudos to Gene Simmons. At least he gave a shout out on Twitter about all this and brought it to people's attention that he wasn't happy. Iron Maiden Rage got left out. So kudos, Simmons. Thank you. We appreciate it. And I guess right now, I guess that's all I got for this week.
All right. Well, cool. Do
Well,
we
pretty
want
good.
to? Yeah, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. We learned more. Like I said, I'm going to try to get Mike Canistero on so we can learn more about Devo.
Oh, yeah. I need a lesson.
Yeah, we need a Devo lesson. The only thing I remember that he told me once is it's actually short for de-evolution.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
well, yeah,
That actually does make sense.
because we're devolving, so that's what Devo was originally meant to be. So that's
I like it.
anyway. Thanks
For next
joining
week,
us.
I'll work on getting.
What's that?
I'll get us a picture. I'll get us all a picture of that mannequin that I sabotaged the waitress with for next week, so you guys can see what he looks like.
Nice. That'll work. And I'll maybe there'll be a clip out of me doing Mickey Mouse's voice in a weird movie.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm going to go around our short list of panelists now and have people tell you where they can find them. Colin, go ahead. Where can we find you if we want to?
You can get a hold of me on Facebook, You can find me at links from Breaking the Fourth Wall. You can find me on YouTube. Or if you just want to send me a line, drop me a message, send me an email. ColinWashburn@gmail.com.
All right, Serenity.
You can find me at Vinyl Prophet or Vinyl Prophet Records at gmail.com, or wherever these guys are. They know how to stalk me better than anyone else.
All right. And you can, of course, find me at thelife1069.com. You can email me at thelife1069@gmail.com. Even though the Life Radio Show is not making new episodes, you can still find my stuff out there. You can check out my IMDb page, imdb.me/Donald Smith. I've got all kinds of movie projects coming up. We're going to bring, hopefully get somebody on next week to talk a little bit about one of them. But I'm always out there doing stuff. And thanks for listening to the Breaking the Fourth Wall podcast. If you have any comments, be sure to let us know. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies. If either way, they can listen to anybody. We'll take all comers. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking around with us another week. This is our crew for the moment until we get everybody back in line. But what a crew it is. All right. Tune in next week. And don't forget to whip it good.